Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex here, and today we're going to be organizing and cleaning at least one of the Detolfs here. I've got 19 of them, I believe. So I thought we'd start off with Transformers. That's kind of where my channel started, was just collecting G1 Transformers, and then I ventured out into other things, and then really like some of the modern stuff, and I like Japanese figures, and the G1s are just so expensive, so kind of nice alternative here, but right now, as it sets, I have 3 Detolfs for just solely Transformers. Now, some stuff may get changed, from one Detolf to the other. But by the end of this video, this one's going to be dusted, Windexed, cleaned, and organized. And I'm going to have the little figures, staggered, like in different heights on each shelf. So hopefully it'll turn out looking good by the end of the video. The top section probably going to stay pretty much the same just because those are all big bots and I don't know what else to do with them. So, but this is the Detolf we're going to be focusing on today. So, I'm going to put like a few little edits, kind of showing the progression of my progress, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so got all the bots out of this first Detolf and got it nice and cleaned up. So it's ready to put the bots back in it. But I need to kind of reorganize them to where they go in correct places where it makes sense. Just because like I had a needle nose just stuffed in there with the Autobots just because there was a space to put a transformer there, and I didn't really want to reorganize everything to fit them in. So some of the stuff will probably go over there and vice versa. So I'll end up mixing it up so that it looks the best. You can already tell that I changed the top of it from when I first started this video. So I just had Fort Max and Scorponok, and then Cog and Fast Track or Attack Track. No, Attack Track is Master Universe. Maybe Fast Track. I forget off the top of my head what his name is, but anyways, I think that looks a little bit more full, and obviously being able to put Jetfire, Skyfire up there, whichever you prefer you want to call them, and Super Genrai. Those are like two large figures that took up a lot of real estate here on the shelf. So being able to put them there, and I think it looks good. It makes the top of it look a lot more full. Where this may look full, but it's also just cluttered because I didn't really. Whenever Minosaur came in, I'm like, I can kind of squeeze you in there. The Saurus, when he came in, I'm like, maybe here on the corner. So hopefully I'm going to be able to maximize the space up here to where, like on this one here, you can see the levels of each character. So like the small ones aren't behind like the medium sized ones, and then you can see the larger ones, the Titans I think is what they're called, behind them. So just maximizing that space. So I might even change it up a little bit more. I'll show you in the final end of the video. You'll see how this Detolf comes together. But what I had in there, kind of like little mix of everything. These are guys that are like not that important to me, so they're gonna find themselves on a bottom shelf somewhere. Got some Headmaster guys. I'll give you closer looks whenever they get into the Detolf. But that's Headmasters. I know, except for those little mini dudes, which are Super God Master Force. Got some of the Arc 1 stuff, and then those two, which it's a good thing I'm doing this because I'm coming to discover that I do not have a red alert. And then this was on a shelf together where this doesn't make much sense because I have Headmasters, I've got Victory, just some Finbots, some Season 3 stuff, so it's all kind of mixed together and doesn't make much sense. Except for maybe the Ultra Magnus and Springer, but so I'm going to be reorganizing some stuff. Went ahead and put that Optimus to the side because I was like, oh, I'm just going to sell him. I don't need him. But anyways, let's see how the first shelf comes together. All right, and the first shelf is done. So kind of going from back to front, left to right, kind of showing you who they are. So it happens I did have a Red Alert and a Mirage. They were just over here with these guys and the Decepticons. So one of those cases where I don't have any room to put this where they need to go, so let me just put it somewhere so I don't have to deal with it until later. But we got Inferno, Optimus Prime. I did originally have the trailer closed and him standing on top of it, but it was a little bit too tall. So open it up, spread his legs a little bit, able to pull this little thing out. So still kind of cool looking. Forget if this comes with missiles or not. I know they wouldn't launch if it does, but I have all bag accessories, like in a bin that's just for Transformers and just for G.I. Joe and all that, just because I don't keep any of these boxes because they're kind of trash. So, but Optimus Prime, grapple. You'll notice a way that I try to set stuff up is I like to be symmetrical. So Inferno, grapple, same body style. So put them on separate sides. Try to put, like, if it went like that, I try to put the more important character, or at least what I think, on the right side of Optimus. Hoist, and, Trailbreaker over there, same body style, so I think Hoist is a little bit prominent in the cartoon, so he gets the right side. This was more for space, but I wanted to have Sideswipe and Sunstreaker there together, instead of Sideswipe and Red Alert, just because Doctor, those two can go together. So, like having those two side by side. If you don't agree, with the way I set it up, you feel free to put it in the comments. If you're like, no, they need to be together, but I think this is the way that they're kind of intended to be. So, at least on my shelf. So, Ironhide, Wheeljack, Red Alert, and Ratchet. Obviously, Ironhide, Ratchet, same body style. Ironhide a little bit more prominent, so I'll put him on the right side. Put the two medics together instead of Wheeljack there. So when I'm putting this together, there's a reason why every figure is going to go in a certain spot. So I don't know. That's just kind of the way I like to do it. So whenever I do, sort these things and get them set up the way that I want, I guess you could say I'm OCD with it. So anyways, he will go there after I fix that. Anyways, we got Blue Streak, Prowl, and Smokescreen. Figured Prowl's the more dominant of those. I think he was second lieutenant or something like that. It's been a long time since I've kept up with the history of these guys. But Mirage, I figured I'd put him there. Now, I do have Jazz and Trax that, you could put in there, and originally I had Jazz on the row with them. But Jazz and Trax are both in season 3, so that I figured then they would make more sense going over here versus Ratchet and Wheeljack, who died in the 86 animated movie. So, anyways, that's the way that I kind of thought of it. So that's the first shelf. All right, and now getting on to shelf number 2. Original, like I had Autobots. So I was like, what am I going to do with these? Got some Mix Mash over here, some Mix Mash, some Japanese, Japanese sprinkled. Same over here. Got some stuff that came into the 86 animated movie. Then some Japanese stuff, some stuff from season 3. How am I going to divide this up? And I was like, do I want to just keep doing all Autobots and like doing all Decepticons? And then I ended up having to do like a mix one. I figured the easiest way to do it is, well, technically I would probably have to have Trypticon and Metroplex over there. I don't know if the top really matters. But I was like, 3 Detolf, pre-86 animated movie, like season 3 stuff and 86 animated movie, Japanese stuff. And I figured that would make the most sense. So since we got most of our Autobots there, gotta still have some room for some Autobots down here. Need to throw some Decepticons in there. So got Megatron there in the back, Soundwave, Shockwave. I took all his like little weird funky pieces off of him, so he looks a lot better. Got the Coneheads, Ramjet, Thrust, and Dirge. Almost forgot for a moment. Got our regular Seekers. We got Skywarp, Starscream, and Thundercracker. And down here, I was like, what are the other bots? Because originally I had like Astro Train and Blitzwing back there and waiting for an Octane, a proper one. But I was like, wait, that's season 3 and 86 animated movie stuff. So I was like, all right, I remember these guys. You know, they're in like season 2 or something like that. So, uh, waiting on Bombshell. We got our Nightbird. We'll have Soundwave's little cassettes here. So I think Frenzy's missing or he's on pre-order. I, I forget, but I got the little Crimzeek in there, and then got a little camera. I forgot where that came from. I think it was part of a masterpiece or something, like a little throw in to represent Reflector, just because putting that in there it's going to take up too much room. So that way he's kind of represented on that shelf. So that's the way I went with shelf number 2. And we are to shelf number 3, and this is where I figured my Dinobots would go. I didn't want it to be too cluttered. I still feel like it's a little too cluttered. Like I could do away with a couple of guys on this bottom shelf, but this is going to be kind of like a catch-all. Like it doesn't have really a particular place to go. Like Top Spin and Twin Twist and Whirl and Roadbuster and the little Fembots over there and stuff, like don't really necessarily have a place to go, so that's going to be kind of that. And I'll probably put some Decepticons in there because I got some Armada things that are Seekers. I'll probably put those in there, and that'll be kind of the catch-all shelf, I guess. Whenever they come out with any more of these the mini guys, I'll probably put those in a little bit more prominent place on that shelf, but that's what I plan to do with that, so I'll get to that one in a second. On this one, back there in the center, that's where Swoop is going to go. So once he gets here, I might have to move some stuff around. I might move those 2 guys at the back over here and take a couple of these and move them down here. So Swoop, determining how big those wings are and how much room he's going to demand, this shelf might get changed a little bit sooner than some of the other ones that I'm going to be completing. But I figured for right now, Swoop, got a spot for them. Jazz and Trax, I wanted them to be on this shelf like the third one. I didn't want them to be down here. And then, we have the other Dinobots. We have Snarl, Sludge, Grimlock, and Slag or Slug or something. I don't know if you're in Europe. I forget exactly what they call them. But anyways, I always knew them as Slag. So we got Pipes, and we got Huffer, and then we have Warpath, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Brawn, and Cosmos. So anyways, that's that section there for that shelf. I'll give it a little overview once I complete this. Alright, so I ended up changing this just a little bit. What I did is, we still got the spot for Swoop whenever he comes in there, leaving Jazz and Trax up there. I moved Pipes and Huffer down here. So whenever they start to come out with more of those little minis, this size guys, they can start to fill up there. We might move those back up. So leaving myself a little bit of room to play with whenever new figures come in. Down at the bottom, Roadbuster and Whirl, and I completely forget what that dude's name is in the middle there. But I didn't know where to put him for right now, so I just left him back there. Then on the left and right of the second row, we've got Twin Twist and Top Spin. Then we have, Top Spin's that one. And then we have Scoop in the middle there. I figure if they're going to start to come out with these dual target masters, that they're probably going to redo him as well. So he's one that whenever they decide to do that, then I'll put that with that big group, and then I'll probably end up selling that one. Then the second to bottom row, we got the Fembots. I still think that this 30th anniversary Chromia is the best one that they've done. So I've always whenever they come out with another one, I'm like, nope, not as good as this one. So keeping that one. Then there's the 30th anniversary. I have the movie one that's going to be up on the movie shelf and the season 3 shelf. Windblade, this is the second version. I'm going to sell the fan created one because I still had that one, but I'm like, I don't need 2 Windblades. And this one just poses a lot better. So got an Alita, and then the medic bot. I don't remember if she has a name or not. If you guys know, you can put it in the comments. And then just move these guys down here. I thought it just looked a little bit more cleaner than there because they were all kind of crammed together, trying to make room. And you have the Dinobots fist kind of in the way, hitting them in the back, and Grimlock's gun. So it just looked crammed. That's the thing, is I don't want anything to look crammed. I want it to be nice, spaced out, look like the shelf goes together. Like I said, this one not so much because it's kind of odd-in type things, but you got a complete row there: Warpath, Cliffjumper, Bumblebee, Brawn, Cosmos there. So full look. Since we've finished this one, so from very top, made some changes there, a few little changes here, but you can see how they're nicely staggered from when I started the video, kind of how I had it. I had an idea, I just hadn't put the little blocks in place, the little acrylic cases, to make it look like, presentable. Same back here. The stacking bombshell will obviously go there, and any other little Soundwave minions, I'll make room. Adding swoop, other little guys, and then just kind of a thrown together shelf. So that Detolf is done. That's one of 19. If you guys enjoyed this video, bump it into stuff, let me know, and I'll continue to do it. This one will be the next one we'll do. This is going to be kind of 86 animated movie season 3 type stuff. So like those guys will go over here somewhere. There's some Quintessons. Some other things will probably start to travel over here to make room for more Japanese. I try to leave like the middle so I can flip back and forth, where if there's more stuff here, then I can go here. If there's more stuff from the Japanese series, then it can go here. So probably the bottom 2 rows of this one, won't be full, because I'll kind of leave myself some room to flip stuff around. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Well, we got more of these. So 19 Detolfs, that's number 1. We got 2, 3. I'm gonna finish the Transformers. I don't know if we're gonna do this one next, but we've got Gargoyles and G.I. Joe, Star Wars. We've got Ninja Turtles and some more DC stuff. And then we got Marvel Legends that need to be done. So lot to do. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Peace.